It doesn't matter what gender you are, abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain.
Mica Miller was born on March 7, 1994 in Wichita, Kansas. She was a beautiful woman who was known for high, vibrant energy and her passion. She was a beloved member of her Myrtle Beach, South Carolina community where she lived with her pastor husband, John Paul Miller. On April 27, 2024, her body was found by a river in Lumber River State Park in Robeson County, North Carolina. Her life was tragically cut short at the age of 30 with a gunshot wound to the head, leaving an everlasting impact on those who have known her. Although her cause of death was her unaliving herself, her family, friends, and internet sleuth think otherwise. Was there foul play at hand? Did her husband have anything to do with this? This story is not as clear as it may seem, and every certainty and possibility should be investigated. We here at How to Deal are present to help you get a better understanding at what is going on in the world with this particular case. So sit back, get your suspicious nature in line, and let's dive in to the curious case of Mica Miller. Historically, in any case where a woman was found dead, the husband or the intimate partner is somehow always the first one to be investigated or have the blame put on. In 2021 alone, statistics show that of the estimated 4,970 female victims who were murdered, 34% of them were killed by an intimate partner. Overall, 76% of those women murdered were committed by someone who knew the victim. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to check out if her husband had any motives. Let's look into their history. Mica Miller had known John Paul Miller since the age of 10. She was married to a gentleman named Jeremy for a while. He was the music director of the church and John Paul's best friend. John Paul even officiated their wedding. They got divorced in 2016, sparking a huge scandal in their church when the truth was revealed that she was having an affair with the pastor. She once stated to an officer that he would groom her while she worked at Solid Rock Church, leading the women's ministry until they got married in 2018. In January 2023, they got separated, citing violence, abuse, and infidelity for her reasoning. They filed for divorce on October 9, 2023. On February 10, 2024, Mica was involuntarily hospitalized for 48 hours. Upon being discharged, her purse and car keys was already picked up by her then husband. Mica filed a report to the police stating that she believes John Paul fraudulently initiated her involuntary hospitalization and stole her car while she was receiving treatment. When the officers reached out to the estranged husband, he says she suffered from episodes on an annual basis around Christmas. He alleged Mica spends large amounts of money when she stops taking her prescription of lithium. Since the car was considered marital property and the two were still legally married, no charges were filed. On March 11th, Mica calls the police after finding her tires slashed. At the car dealership, they found a device used by police to deflate tires, and also found the GPS tracker on her car. She suspected someone in a white car was following her all day, and the guy actually pulled up to the dealership. Mica happened to catch a video of the guy, also telling him to walk away.
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
She will later seek a restraining order in fear of her life. On March 26, a bench trial is held for that restraining order. On April 25th, 2 days before Mica's death, John Paul was served with the divorce papers. The day before her death, John Paul went to Charleston, South Carolina for a sporting event, where he spent the night. He drove back home the next day with a group of people that he traveled to the event with. An alibi as to where he was, you could say. On April 27th, Mica Miller's events can be detailed up to and after her death that day. At 11:38 a.m., she can be seen on her Ring camera leaving her residence at Myrtle Beach. 12:12 p.m., Mica is seen walking into Dick's pawn shop on surveillance camera. She entered here to buy a handgun. A half hour later, she can be seen leaving the store after purchasing the weapon and ammunition. At 2:54 p.m., a 911 call was made. Mica asked if her phone could be traced and located. After the operator confirmed yes, she asked what's the reasoning behind her call. Mica responds that she was going to kill herself and that she at least wants her family to find her body.
Robeson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
A national park
Where's the park located at?
in Fair Bluff.
Let's see.
I have my location on, I think, on my phone. Find my phone is on. I just did my my location.
Okay, I'm showing, at the Lumber River State Park. And
Yeah, that's where I am.
tell me what's, happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
The telecommunicator tried to call Mica back multiple times, but was unable to make contact. At around 3, deputies were dispatched to the Lumber River State Park for a welfare check and to attempt to locate Mica. This is where her phone pinged her to be at. At 4:23, a fisherman contacted the sheriff, stating that he located a body prone, submerged in the river, about 100 feet from the bullet casings. It was Mica Miller. Investigators located a 6-hour gun case in the passenger seat of her vehicle, as well as a box of ammunition in the center console. Later that evening, the firearm was located in the water. On May 2nd, John Paul sits down with the local news station for an interview. He had nothing but nice and positive things to say about Mica, about how she was very energetic and full of creativity.
So over the years since we've been married, some people struggle with high blood pressure, some struggle with diabetes, her struggle was with mental health. And whenever she stayed on her lithium, things were amazing. She'd come off sometimes and things would be a little unusual. Per her doctors, they told her even just recently they had written that she was homicidal, suicidal, and she had struggled with suicide before. And each time, helped her through it, took her to her doctor, and we got through it. Everything was fine.
Although John Paul said Mica died by suicide, by this time, the medical examiner had not released her manner of death. On May 5th, John Paul hosted a memorial service at Solid Rock Church.
It still didn't hit me. I thought she was going to wake up. I even tried to raise her from the dead one time this week. And
the next day, the medical examiner released Mica's COD. It was ruled to be a death due to a self-inflicting gunshot wound to the head, with no physical struggle. Of course, her family and friends were quite skeptical. Her father believes foul play is afoot. What was the meaning behind 2 shells on the floor if there was only 1 gunshot wound on her? Why was there scratches and bruises on her hands? The medical examiner says it was scratches from trees and brush, but it could have also been a sign of a struggle. Why did Pastor John Paul Miller find the need to rush the cremation of the body instead of waiting for a full toxicology or a complete autopsy that Mica's dad claimed were never done? If she shot herself in the front of the head, why was her body found face down prone position? He believes a full investigation wasn't done. Other relatives and friends of Mica dispute the manner of death described by her estranged husband. Text messages had surfaced of arguments he would have with her, as well as threats made against her family. These show signs of an angry man, possibly not happy with the divorce. The FBI is now currently investigating this case. John Paul Miller's attorneys released multiple statements expressing his client's innocence, refuting any reports that suggest he ever abused his wife or groomed her from the age of 10. He blames the incident on her struggles with mental health illnesses, specifically bipolar disorder, which led to paranoid episodes and self-destructive behaviors. His attorney believes that the Robeson County, North Carolina Sheriff's Office did do a thorough investigation, and that the baseless claims and false reporting had caused immense distress on John Paul and his family, needs to stop immediately. What do you think happened? Do you think John Paul Miller had anything to do with the death of his wife, Mica Miller? Was she followed or abducted by any other person out there on that day? Or was she having an episode caused by her mental illnesses that made her succumb to unaliving herself? Let us know in the comments down below.
I just wanted to give you a dare today. I dare you to do something either good for yourself or someone else, because like the second greatest command, love your neighbor as yourself, and it makes the enemy so mad.
Shout out to all our supporters. And if you're not subbed yet, what are you waiting for? Simply click on that button below. Thanks for watching.